So I've just realized that maybe about the first 25 episodes, right, are very horny, thirsty, whatever you want to call it. The first episode was called
we needed to get it out.
Tinder or STDs,
You're
right?
not serious.
Wow. Number 2 was called Send Nudes. Number 3, we're gonna need more rubbers.
Wait. Before you proceed, who was naming these episodes?
It was G.
Okay, thank you. Proceed.
Right? Number 4, polygamy for dummies. Number 5, weed, sex, and freaky
Yes.
Bro.
Sounds like a Lulu joint, bro.
Number 6, R. Kelly must have done something because these are my confessions.
He done did it.
Yeah, no, actually, Asha, I mean, right? Number 7, I don't know why we'd change the image of the podcast, right? It's called We Don't Eat White Meat. Number 8,
What's that about?
more rounds than aging. Number 9, big energy.
Yeah.
Number 10, Mandem, stop. Don't buy that girl that drink. Number 11, sex on the first date. Who does that?
Wow.
Sorry, we don't date broke guys. Imagine no. Oh, imagine.
Rings any bells?
Oh my God, remember the Imagine No? Oh, that's...
Rings any bells?
Imagine no.
Oh, man. 30 years later.
So,
The mics are blood clot open. Check.
Select accent for the podcast.
Calvin always late. All right, the mics are open. Episode 300. We're in the building, the big 300. My name's G Money.
And the young.
Ashley.
Big C.
Fabs.
Welcome back to the pod.
Thank you, brother.
Like, this is your second time on the pod, yeah?
Second time.
And you've chosen to join us when we're returning episode number 300.
Big number, man. Big number.
That
has to be here.
That's like 6 years.
Damn.
That's
a long time.
That's almost 6 years.
Longest relationship you've been in?
Low key, yeah.
Off to a great start.
Bro, you know what? Like, I have done zero preparation for today's episode, other than going through old episodes and thinking to myself, my God, 300 episodes of this, 200 plus of the mini-sode,
The mini-sode.
which we stopped doing. So that's over 500 pieces of content over 6 years. That's a hell of a lot.
That's a
Love
lot.
it.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
How you feeling? It's been
Do you
a
know
journey.
what? I feel like as a podcast right now, we're in a spot where we're beginning to, or we're seeing a lot of people who came after us benefiting from the work that was done, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
Showing like the way to go was consistency.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because consistency, I don't think anybody can doubt the consistency of what we've done. So yeah, it's a beautiful space to be in. And I also had a thought like, so how does it end?
Yo, like even the development of the plot of the podcast, like change is inevitable. Like, do you think you will be here until the very end? Do you think some guys are gonna drop out? You're gonna get some new guys
people
on set?
So I feel like first of all, congratulations on you guys. Like 300 episodes was a lot, but I never saw that. I always thought the mics would evolve and I'd eventually not be on it. I think I see the mic as something that people grow through, but also I had another thought thinking that with the ability to start new podcasts, there's really no need for anyone to grow through because there's different spaces for people to create in.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm just here for the ride, bruv.
That's what she said.
Well, go on, Big C. Big C spitting wisdom on the social media this week.
Guys are not
Going
liking
viral.
that. Guys, someone told me I don't like it when Calvin is this guy. They want chaos.
Yeah.
They love the chaos. Yeah, they love the chaos.
Some post you made this week you made on the podcast talking about how, there are good marriages out there and it went viral.
Like, what the fuck, man?
A lot has changed. I bumped into one of the some months, maybe about a month and a half, right? I bumped into the CEO of M-Pesa Africa.
Okay.
Don't drop names though.
No, I know.
Into the CEO
so not
of one of the
Safaricom,
biggest
right?
telcos in the country.
I bumped into the CEO of Safaricom.
Yeah.
Just Friday gone. Almost knocked him off the stage.
Man.
Wow.
Like, that's
So it's a different kind of bump. You know what I mean?
So here's the thing, right? So he says to me, I followed you on Instagram. And I was like, oh man, Like that.
Fabian, I hate it too. I know. I know.
No,
Bro.
like for me, he found me. I was out, it was out in a social place, right? He frequents, I frequent as well. So he said, "Oh, I didn't really know that you're a podcaster, social media. You're a podcaster like that, because when you're in this kind of settings, you're showing something else, right?"
Yeah.
And I just remember looking at him, and I'm like, "Oh man, that was my exact reaction."
Please don't go
because now it's like, every single time that I'm putting out stuff, I've got to be a bit guarded because the audience is a bit
different.
So
do you think? Sorry, Ashley.
So will you be a little bit more conscious?
A bit more conscious?
Yeah, conscious of what you're saying on the podcast?
Not really.
No, I think
not
he is,
really.
but for different reasons. That's my theory.
No, no, not really. But to be honest, what I was doing in 2018 or 19, is it?
2019.
19, obviously. But still, we got wild times. That life can't be that straight and boring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also, I mean, social media is not necessarily real life.
I feel like they'd be entertained by it as well, because isn't that where you go to like release or what is it called? Calm your mind down or get away from
Or pastime.
pastime. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
But am I really gonna be that guy posting on Instagram? Is it better if your wife is cheating that you bust her in doggy style position?
Well, if
or
you said it
missionary?
on the podcast, hell yeah.
That was the topic that we discussed
Hell
on the
yeah.
podcast.
Put it up if you said it on the podcast.
What the fuck was
Stand
that?
on business.
What did you actually post that now?
About like that story.
Yeah. Exactly.
No, geez.
Yeah.
Send
This is a wild one.
Stand on it, bro.
Okay, so for those of you who are wondering, right? The podcast as evolved.
280 podcasts.
A lot.
280 podcasts ago, we had a conversation that was like, is it worse or better to find your wife cheating in a missionary position or a doggy style?
Yeah.
And I maintain, and I still say it. And this guy who cuts these clips, whoever cuts our TikTok clips, I told you this week, stop featuring me, yeah? But I'll say it. I maintain, right?
Yeah.
If you walk in and catch your wife cheating and she's in doggy style, it's worse than missionary.
Is it?
Yes.
But why though?
Yes,
Yeah.
the conversation has been rehashed. Let's go.
Bro, do you know how intentional that is?
As if missionary isn't.
I think missionary is more
Intimate.
Yeah, like
Yes.
you're looking at each other's faces.
God, you're seeing eyes, you're seeing ears, you have a conversation.
Yeah. Like you're talking to me, looking deep
It's
in my
not just-
soul.
You see, you started this.
So like, think about it.
So we spoke about this in episode number, like 20 or something.
Thereabout, right? So before we even get to that, so I'll get to it, right? So I've just realized that maybe about the first 25 episodes, right, are very horny, thirsty, whatever you want to
Y'all
call
on
it.
heat.
The first episode was called
We needed to
Tinder,
get it out.
Tinder or STDs,
You're
right?
not serious.
Wow.
Number 2 was called Send Nudes. Number 3, we're gonna need more rubbers.
Wait.
Number
Before you proceed, who was naming these episodes?
It was G.
Okay, thank you. Proceed.
Right? Number 4, polygamy for dummies. Number 5, weed, sex, and freaky
Hey,
animals.
bro.
Sounds like a Lulu joint, bro.
Number 6, R. Kelly must have done something because these are my confessions.
He done did it.
Yeah, no, actually, Asha, I mean,
That's
right?
your genius,
Number
man. Yeah.
7, I don't know.
Proper ones.
I don't know why we'd change the image of the podcast, right? It's called We Don't Eat White Meat. Number
What
8,
was that about?
more rounds than AJ. Number 9, big dick energy.
Yeah.
Number 10, Mandem, stop. Don't buy that girl that drink. Number 11,
Okay, that's
sex
okay.
on the first date. Who does that?
Wow.
Sorry, we don't date broke guys. Imagine no. Oh, imagine.
Rings any bells?
Oh my God, remember the Imagine No? Oh, that's...
Rings any bells?
Imagine no.
Imagine
What
no.
happened?
Oh, man. 30 years later.
So can I recap Imagine No?
Thank
For
you.
those
Not the
for those who want the story of Imagine No. So on that episode,
Oh shit!
yeah,
Hold up, where were we?
I can tell you where we were. We were at Radio Africa.
Yes.
What were we doing at every?
And we
He's
both
telling
got
the
to see
Telling the story.
Tell the story.
we walked into that one.
I was looking at the date.
So let me tell Fabian the story,
'cause I
right?
went for
So
the context.
basically,
Yeah, go for it.
we bumped into one of his exes, right? But I'm still cool with her. So we shook hands and then we're talking. So then Calvin Like, you got your hand to shake her hand, and she was like, "Imagine no."
Oh man, damn.
Straight up, we're not doing that.
Bruh.
That
Anyway.
is what is called standing.
But that's
con-
deep, you know.
Standing on
Imagine no.
business.
Imagine, no.
She's like, "Imagine no."
What? You know something?
But was it a pause after the imagine?
No,
or was
like
it one shot?
imagine no.
Oh,
I love it.
Calvin must have done some heinous shit, bro.
Go back and listen to the episode.
Damn.
All right.
It's the fact that you can't even greet me. You're saying imagine. No.
Damn.
Imagine no.
Ulifanya
Like,
nini?
You know, we were in those bedsitter studios, like the three of us.
Wow.
So I'm like, hello. I was told, imagine.
imagine no.
God is good.
Episode
Actually, God is good.
Bro, episode 14 was What Are We? Episode 15 was Tie Me But Don't Choke Me.
Oh, yes,
What
daddy.
the hell?
Number 16, wash your balls.
Jeez. Number 17 was This Podcast is Full of Shit.
Oh, hold on. Before you even go that, you know,
Man.
some of these titles are quite something, right? But the descriptions are also quite,
Let's hear it.
yeah. So 16, wash your balls. It says, this week, the guys talk about hygiene, including the optimum pH
Hey.
level of punani. Does G-Money eat pussy? Did Andy drop the soap in the shower? Is
Hey.
big C a big C or a little C? All answers in here in 30 minutes. Yo, that sounds like a BBC News bulletin. Find out at 10 o'clock.
Wow.
I love it.
That's a straight face.
With a straight face.
Wow, that's a good description right there.
Yeah.
You're doing very well.
Yeah,
2
yeah.
days.
let
Good
me
job.
see.
Killing that shit, bro.
19, episode 19, everyone's got a fucking question. Like, what was that about?
Let's
This
hear it.
week, it's all about you. The lads answer all the questions that you DM'd to them a few weeks ago on Instagram. We haven't done one of those for a while.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy?
Yeah,
now that
we
we've
had a
mentioned
whole
that,
segment on the show.
Well, that
we used
died.
to have that. Guys used to send. You know what's crazy now that we're talking about the podcast and how far it's come, right? So the first guest we ever had on the podcast was actually
King Kaka.
King
Yeah,
Kaka.
King
yeah.
Kaka.
Bro, King Kaka, we had him on the show,
Right in this room.
interview, right in
When
this
the-
corner.
yeah.
And then we're like, yo, let's record the podcast. Bro, the feedback.
We don't
want guests.
We don't want guests.
So whenever guys are asking us why we don't do guests,
No,
is
but no.
you lot said,
In their defense, we could have handled that conversation differently. Instead, we did an interview. That's what we did. As opposed to doing an interview, we'd have just had conversation with him. And
Yeah.
I think
It would have gone different.
It would have been
no,
okay.
okay, I could go back and watch that though, because we were talking about like when he met up with what is the guy who's ran over by that Walmart truck?
Cassidy.
Morgan,
not Cassidy.
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan,
not
Morgan
Morgan
thingy.
Freeman.
The comedian.
Damn, I forget
Tracy
the name.
Morgan?
Tracy Morgan,
Yes.
who puked at the stadium the other day.
Oh man,
Lol.
yeah. the
Yeah,
New York Knicks game.
but I think, I mean, when I think about it, it's like I agree with Andy in the sense of like we were new to podcasting then,
Yeah.
So we default went into radio settings,
True.
Yeah.
and did a radio interview, and the feedback was
It was like,
Hey, not good.
Then the second guest, you guys remember?
who's that?
Barry.
Barry.
I remember
Yeah.
Barry.
Barry was like, yeah, you know, I'm a hoe, but in a gated community.
That was a fire episode. Not
That
gonna
was a good
lie.
episode.
Not gonna lie. That was
You
a
said
fire
that.
episode.
We don't
Yeah.
harm civilians.
We don't harm
Yeah, we
civilians.
don't have civilians. Yeah, I remember.
Wow, you got a good memory, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
man.
You even remember the exact name of the podcast? That's wild.
Yeah, that was
Episode 22. The royal penis is clean, Your Highness.
I remember that one.
That was
Yeah.
from Coming
That
to
was
America.
Coming to America.
Yeah.
To America, yeah.
This
Yeah.
week, the lads laughed their way through a hilarious episode. Calvin talks about becoming Calvina. G reminisces about stupid shit that as a kid and how he snitched 3 times. And Andy kind of wants to pierce his dick.
Oh, that was
What
when you
the
were going
hell?
through. He was going through his PS era.
What the?
Yeah, I think you had just gotten your nose ring actually.
Yeah.
That's mad.
To cap it all up, what's been the biggest plot twist on this set?
I think, in terms of plot twist,
Yeah.
it has to be the iconic episode 135.
The turning point.
Yo,
Turning point.
for everyone.
Episode 35.
So Fabian,
Yeah, context.
on episode 35, we may or may not have smoked a joint live in the studio.
Nobody
Oh,
knows,
right.
but
Nobody knows.
it's
Yeah.
provocative.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm kind of leaning on we may have, but we may not have for the purposes of being responsible podcasters.
Yeah.
Suffice it to say, the episode where it left, there's a whole point on the episode where somebody was talking about, was it you talking about something that made no sense?
Who was it, Calvin?
I think it's
Maybe,
Calvin.
probably Calvin.
Yeah.
No, Calvin
Because I think by the end of that episode, we were all more worried about Calvin.
in
Calvin.
Man, my grandmother was the original, like, just herbal remedies. Like, for example, if you had a cold or a fever, she'd send you to the garden to go and cut this bush. Every morning we used to have to drink aloe vera.
Aloe vera, yeah.
Did you guys have to do that as well?
Outside the door, bro. Every day.
On the way going to school, aloe vera.
Yeah.
Then, you know, I was very asthmatic when I was growing up, and I used to drink weed tea every day.
Weed tea.
Yeah, apparently weed is good for asthma.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It really is.
So
What do you mean is really good? You ain't never smoked no weed.
Bro, I do my research, bro. I know these things.
Like,
you see, Mr. What If?
yeah.
Mr. What If?
But you should smoke a joint once.
But then I'm more likely, I've said this before, I'm more likely to smoke a joint than take alcohol.
Okay, so do you want to smoke a joint now?
No.
Are you sure?
I don't even know how to smoke, bro. Hell no.
Bruh,
But you-
not saying that I have got weed anywhere near the studio, but if you happen to want to smoke a joint, we could play a song and then come back.
Nope.
Are you sure?
I'm 110% sure, bro.
I mean, I don't smoke, but I might have access to.
No, it's
No,
fine.
I don't
It's
actually.
fine.
You're spending more time on it. You know, it becomes, yeah.
Me?
The way you've said it, like,
I don't
now,
smoke.
how many times do we talk about a joint?
When's the last time you smoked a joint, Z?
There's no fuck off, Mr. What If. Don't ask me no fucking questions. And I ain't smoked a joint for a long time. I'm not falling for that shit no more. All of your questions, what if, G, when, no, 2020.
Now we can't have a conversation.
You're on your own fucking energy
God
right
damn
now.
it.
No. When's the last time you smoked a joint?
Never. What if I want to? God, there's a.
Do you want to smoke? Do you want to? You see? What if?
What if?
Mr. Fucking
Heck,
what if?
what if I want us to smoke a joint right now, the three of us?
But if you look over there in the, sorry, Ken, pass us that. No, it's okay. Not that I have any weed here anyway.
What?
I bet there's some
Did
weed
you
in
just
this
say
house,
you
bro.
want us to smoke a joint together?
Yeah. What if?
When you
No, we were worried about you, Andy. Like, we were like,
Were we worried about me or were we
no,
worried about you? Let's be honest.
G call me. G call me. Yo,
G, let's be honest.
G
Were we worried
called
about me or Calvin?
G called me after the podcast. He's like, yo, I think we fucked up.
Sorry.
He's like, he'll never be the same. And true to form, he's
He
never
was
been
never
the same.
yeah.
No, let's
No.
just say me and
So,
Jimani had to have a conversation
we had
later
to have a
on.
conversation after.
that, because
'Cause you felt very
my girl was
guilty.
panicking. Alikuwa na panic. Panic.
I felt very bad about the episode.
And G was in straight up high school, what do you call it? Biology and everything.
Oh,
You're told
man.
that a certain substance is a gateway to everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Anyway,
No regrets.
No regrets.
Yeah.
Yeah, good times though. Good times.
But like I remember, so the podcast has morphed into so many different phases, right?
Yeah.
But I remember when we literally were told we had to change like most of what we could speak about on air, right? We were told, you know, we want to
At
bring
the station.
Yeah.
the station, more sports and all of that. So we'd end the show. We're like, or rather, at that point, we're being, you know, we're promoting the podcast, right? But we're telling people, hey, if you want the good stuff, don't listen to this.
But Mike's
Go on the
on the other hand.
podcast at 10 o'clock. It will be out, you know.
Yeah.
By the way, we actually took the piss promoting this podcast.
Yeah, on the radio. And then at that point, guys were like, we'd go to agencies and what. So we're talking about the podcast. Because, yo, bro, we fought many fights at agencies, right? And guys are like, oh, it's just because you guys are radio presenters, you're able to promote your podcast and what.
Yeah.
And now look at it. Like now it's really interesting to see that brands are really getting behind podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and
man.
then
Beautiful.
it's interesting because I feel like we kind of had to figure it out as we went along. Shout
Yeah.
out to Akil from Alternative, who
Yeah.
was the first person to ever like invest in time and money into the podcast.
That was, what was that?
Prudential.
Prudential
Insurance.
We spoke
Insurance.
about life insurance,
Yeah.
man. G out there like, yeah.
I remember that episode.
You know that one, yeah?
I couldn't believe that was that.
When you watch it
Like,
back, you can't believe like.
we were yapping so much, and then now, you know, we are all serious, you know, and
But
man.
what, like in hindsight, though, what was your favorite set for these 300 episodes? Because I was thinking about that. Like we started. How did we start? We started. Well, first of all, we started
Couch.
Here.
Or the corner.
in the corner
Yeah.
The old
with
studio.
no cameras.
Yeah,
That
no
was a
visuals.
visual. Visual was the
It
couch,
was just
yeah?
audio.
was the couch.
Very good audio.
Very
good audio.
Yeah.
You used to record the very first few ones. It was with your phone, right?
On the visual.
Visual.
Yeah, the visual. It was your phone.
2 iPhones.
Yeah, that was wild.
cooked
And
us,
they
bro.
still look good. Why lie?
No, they
No,
cooked
they
us.
don't. Yeah, they
They
cooked
don't.
us for that one,
They
bro.
did. And you guys
That
are
was the
also
catalyst we
forgetting.
needed for humanity
guys are
to
for-
invest.
You guys are forgetting the Zoom episodes.
Zoom.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, man.
During COVID.
Yeah.
I remember one time I'm in Great Rift and you guys, I'm a bit sloshed. I'm like, we gotta record the podcast. I'm like, these guys are just.
Percy, didn't you guys record the beginning of the episode, the stinger at the
intro.
beginning, the intro?
Stop, yeah?
You guys weren't in the same place.
We were.
Matter of fact, G and I were having that conversation earlier on, and you see how the earlier episodes didn't even have an intro.
Yeah.
And then as the episodes kept going on, now we have so interesting. One of the most important things a creative can do when recording is just press record even before you start.
Yeah.
Because the best parts or the best pieces are usually before you lock in.
True.
Because it's more freestyle.
Yeah.
So those bits and pieces, some of them
Well, most
were
of
not
them.
even on the podcast.
Yeah.
Those are
Yeah.
not things that were said on the podcast.
They were outtakes.
Yeah, just before, as we're getting ready
Love
and all
it.
that. And then now maybe some more text. This is a producer, manze.
For sure.
Did
But that is, I mean, iconic now. Select accent for the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
How many
Hold up.
times have people? How many times have people said that to you?
every damn time. Calvin is always late. Is also a
Mm-hmm.
bill.
Listen,
You know.
listen. If you ever ask me, Calvin's, oh, bro. Like,
You know the interesting thing about that though, if you think about it, is the mics are blood clot open.
Yep.
That was such a and it's not even saying in a Jamaican accent. It's like the mics are blood clot open.
Yeah.
That's me. Then
That was
there's
iconic as well.
then there's
Yeah.
the
Select
accent for the podcast.
Yes.
Where's Calvin? Calvin's on, but you're not on it, are you?
I'm not.
No, he's
You're
not
actually
on it.
Yeah.
But he's on the visual.
Yeah.
coming
He's on the
through
visual?
door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grouch
Wait,
is
you weren't
there.
on there?
No.
Yeah.
Grouch is on it as well.
Grouch is on the
Grouch is
visual.
on there.
Austin is on the visual.
Yeah.
No,
Hi.
skinny,
I've been here for
skinny
3
Grouch,
years.
skinny Grouchy, and skinny
You
Austin.
came after we did the recording, bro.
Yeah, I came after all of them, after the intro,
So
after
you're
the
saying we should make a
recording.
new bumper?
I mean, but this is legendary. Like the one we currently have
Yeah.
is legendary.
Well, actually, Grouchy had mentioned that we do need to do a new bumper for
Yeah.
Yeah.
the pod. I don't
Because he
know.
wants his what? Bigger version in there.
I don't know.
Shit.
So everybody's trying not to laugh, but it's coming out.
No, but like, actually, you know what? All right, for those who don't pay attention, right? Let's put the old bumper in right now. Watch this.
The mics are blood clot open. Check, check, check.
Select accent for the podcast.
Calvin always late.
So now we've been speaking about it. You see how it looks different because now you see Calvin's dreads
Oh yeah.
were there. You see Grouchy
Oh, yeah,
was
the baby.
slim.
Grouch is that crack on the wall.
Austin was still confused looking.
I had a top fade. I think
Yeah, you
I think it
did.
should stick. It's like I take it as the intro of a series that
Like
you
Friends.
follow.
Like Friends,
Like
yeah.
Friends. Yes, new characters come through and everything. Or Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Are we gonna change? No, and this is no slight. Because we've had even Neville has been here also.
Yeah.
And that's why one of the questions I asked you is, how do you see the future of this podcast? Like, are we going to have new players? Are you going to be out and all that? So I think for the sake of longevity and to cater for any changes, it just stays the way it is, bro.
I
The
also
audio or the visual though?
Both of them.
both of them. I also don't see a time where someone is not going to walk up to me and go like, the mics are blood clot open. Like, what other word, what other phase will it be?
Bro, remember the billboards?
Oh,
When we got the Billboard, Kileleshwa.
People started taking us seriously then.
Yeah, eventually.
That was the first one was in Kile. Then the second one just by
We had
Ngong
man.
Gong
Yeah.
Road and
Yeah. Then up Ngong Road. Ngong Road. It was actually not Awings.
Kilimani
Quebec.
New Road.
Kilimani Ring Road, and then we had it as you went on towards. What do you call it? As you
Okay,
went
yeah.
on towards Prestige,
Yeah.
and just by EduLink.
Who remembers what was on the first billboard?
I remember we said some Polish.
Second
We've got
one
more
was-
jokes for you, something like that.
Something about your
It
mom.
was like a house.
No, it was something.
or your housey.
Wasn't there something about?
Even DJ Who.
No, it was something about. There was one about. I can't even remember.
pull
man.
them
I
out.
got that picture on my thingy, on
Yeah.
my IG, on my Twitter. Yeah.
Did it have anything to do with the house, even the house he knows or something?
There was something about paid rent and something. A podcast so funny to make you forget that you've done.
It says the podcast so funny that it will make you forget that you haven't paid your rent.
Yes.
Wow.
The mics are open podcast every Friday.
Yeah.
That was
Available Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and all other platforms.
Also, the visual was
but
dope.
there was another one. That was the rent one. Was
We had variations.
there was another one before the rent one. Man,
that was the first one.
Bro, I've just put Billboard into my photo gallery, and I've got billboards. Don't ask me how I've got billboards here. Take this billboard of Ryla and Colonzo. Why was I taking a picture of that billboard? Wow.
And then I saw on my Snapchat memories last week, or was it this week? That's when we went to do the NTV interview on the train.
Yeah.
Also in March is when we did our very first live.
That was May, 2 years
That was
ago.
May.
God damn.
It was a May, and it was a March actually.
It was a March, yeah.
Oh man.
I saw it in my stories as well. In my
I
story.
still think to me that the live was actually pretty dope because the only thing that I was slightly pissed off about the live was that we didn't capture the audience, Austin, and like.
bro, it was chilling.
We captured us on stage, but we didn't see we didn't capture
Austin.
It was Austin, and we're not blaming him though. Like it's years ago.
No, hell no.
But the next time you guys are live, then you'll capture everyone.
Exactly, he will do that.
We're not blaming Austin.
No, why?
You want to blame someone?
Let's blame him then, since he's here.
Hey, Austin, where were you? was your girl there? Was Austin in a relationship then? He must have been.
Oh my God!
When is he not?
Yo, you're
He
triggering
must have
the
been
poor
like-
man. He was
must have been,
chilling.
Let me hold the camera and then I'm gonna come hold you.
But you know what though? I actually thought for this episode, like some of the production man them should actually come on set and talk about how great it is working with us.
Wow.
I want them to take the piece. I want them to say
How great
the hardest
it
part
is.
of
What-
the
Working
job.
with us, you know.
I know,
Now, how
man.
do you feel working with us? How great it is. Like a true dictator. You go sit there. How great it is to work with us.
Before we even get there,
Smile now, smile. No smile. You're gonna have those placards like in Shrek, man.
but before we get there, Fabian,
Yes, sir.
first time probably G sent you the link, right? For the mics are open. What was your first reaction like when you listened to it? Because obviously these are the first audio versions, right?
Well, I didn't take him seriously to begin with because he's a radio man, so I didn't really connect the dots with the radio and the visual. But after listening to it, it was different because it was raw, unscripted, kind of polished. Living in the UK, everything is scripted and polished. So it was refreshing to see or to hear the take. You just speak naturally. So it's more of a conversation. And it's the kind of honest conversation that you'll have with your friends.
Yeah.
So and I think for me, that was the selling point.
Man.
Love it.
Because I remember that particular point we're pushing it everywhere. And everybody used to be like, what is a podcast? How can I listen to it? Bruh.
It was just new.
I remember sitting in a meeting at the radio station about 2-3 years ago and having like some of the big heads of the station in there, and it's like doing a whole presentation on podcasts. And then one of the guys said, okay, so I hear my daughter talking about podcasts. What exactly is a podcast? And in that moment, I was like, I'm not going to last in this place.
That's when he knew.
That's when he knew.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I think it's really interesting to see that many stations, traditional media, have still not caught up with the power of the podcast. Case in point, look at the Situation Room on Spice.
Yeah.
And this thing with Eric Latif on Nation.
Fixing the nation.
It's literally a podcast.
Yeah.
A live broadcast, a live podcast.
Yeah.
And the impact that it's had in terms of the media space. So it's just interesting.
We even see it in sports abroad, like the guys who are analyzing games and everything. It stopped being the
Serious
official,
guy.
It's just guys laid back, even the language and everything. So I can see the impact it's had in the game.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
at some point though, like, has the podcast ever felt to you guys like work?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Especially with the whenever sods, that felt like work at some point. Because I think maybe we were, man, we hit the ground running, bro. You
Yeah,
know, we
made it
just
all up.
turning content rather. So at some point, it started feeling like a bit of work. But then, interestingly, the payoff at the end of the day used to be like, okay, it was worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
so it never felt like I need to complain about something. Yeah.
You know, for me, the podcast, right? I think it got a lot of people. I think one of the highest moments for the podcast is definitely 2020, right? Because a lot of people were home.
Yeah.
A lot of people were
COVID,
right?
He was in
Because
hospital.
remember,
Damn.
right? So remember, at a particular time, we obviously were home.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So we're recording the podcast remotely. We're using clean feed. Calvin, your mic's too high. Turn it down. Your
What are
internet.
you?
Oh,
my
this,
God.
that,
I've even
boy.
remembered.
You get
God
like
damn.
every goddamn day. You know what I mean?
And then now you know, because I've remembered, do you know how frustrating it is to work with someone like you when we can't see you? Because you get distracted so easily, bro.
Bro,
like we'll be in the middle of a conversation, Calvin zoned out. Calvin is not there. Oh my God.
Feelings.
Man. So,
Yo, like
yeah, I can see the progress.
In my defense, I'm actually a good guy. That's his,
Nobody
you know what I'm saying, right?
Dictator. I'm a good guy.
But those were some very interesting moments. Like I remember, this was this 2020 when what Will Smith's wife? Jada.
Red tattoo.
Red Room.
Yeah.
Red Table.
Red Table.
When that dropped, and we're like, listen, we need to record a mini-sode again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We dropped it because guys were like, yo, we need. So we
Talk
kept a
about
lot
this.
of people going through
Yeah, COVID.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of conversations that were really top.
I think the key point I take away from the whole COVID period with the podcast was that if you look at the titles and you listen to the content, we didn't actually believe that COVID was going to hit us in Africa
That bad.
the way it hit guys in Europe.
It was in real time, bro. Yeah.
We were just like, we had every excuse.
Hold
under the
up,
sun.
let me recount
And it's
it.
hilarious because it was literally Monday when the news broke, and you guys were recording that Monday, right?
The first case.
Yeah, the first case.
But bro, I remember it, and a lot of black people at that particular point were like, "Yo, it's not gonna no black man." We're just all like, "Yo, finally something that can hit the white man and not the black man." Everything is done, and then one basketball player got it, and we're like, "Oh, shit!" So this black is not resistant to COVID, and that was it. And I remember you were away in Nigeria. And I called you and I'm like, yo, you're about to get banged up
They're
abroad.
closing. Yo, that was the craziest thing.
Yeah, you were in Nigerian vibes.
I'm in Lagos having bare vibes, bare fun. Well, you weren't in Lagos. Yeah, I was in Lagos having bare fun. And then I'm talking to Calvin, and Calvin says, yo, have you heard? And I'm like, heard what? He goes, they're closing the airport tomorrow night. Kevin calls me. Kevin's like, so Kevin called me first, and I'm like, what are you calling me for, man? I'm having so much fun in Lagos. What? Tell me they're closing the airport. And he goes, yes. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm thinking, being stuck in Lagos for COVID would have, like, in hindsight. What? In hindsight. So I got in at 7 p.m. and they closed the airspace at 12 that night.
God damn.
And I remember coming out of JKIA and just going like this, thank you, Lord, for being able to get on that flight.
You know the crazy thing about this is, right, when they said, cool, we're shutting down the airspace, closing down the airport. So this is then after, everybody who then came on after, you had to be quarantined.
Yeah.
At a hotel. Bro. And it was either you're like in a plush hotel,
or
you're in a government. Yeah, bro.
Did you see guys escaping from the government?
Yeah. Things were thick.
Do you remember how much a COVID test was, bro?
Bro.
Do you remember how much a COVID test was?
For someone to put that thing in your mouth. I know, right?
So intrusive.
Very,
When you think about it, we went through a lot with COVID.
Yeah.
You went through a lot with COVID.
Do you remember his transformation? Like, one day.
The COVID diet.
One of the best
Our
episodes
COVID
for me
diet.
was your comeback after COVID.
Yeah.
Because you were really trying, bro. You know, like, you had some energy, but you didn't want everybody to be like down and everything.
How you guys gonna remember when you started to fall ill, bro? You go black, like you darkened, like shit. Like,
we're doing so well.
I went to see this guy in hospital. I took him flowers, and they're like, "No, flowers are not."
Took him flowers.
Yeah, I took him flowers. And they were like, no flowers in the HD. And then
offended.
G's like,
you ain't never gave me flowers.
G's like, yeah, man.
You find that funny?
It's not even funny. It was near-death experience.
Yes, God,
This guy was going.
He was going, but he's looking. Yo, I think at hospital, when they said, oh, there's your patient, I must have been wrong guy.
Shit. This is the moment you want to roast G? Wow.
G be like, yo, I don't care, man. They're out here watching me like I'm not afraid of the nurse watching me and shit.
No, let me give you the context. There's context, but wow, you're.
Yeah, that's your boy, bro. That's
So
your
let me
boy.
tell you,
I swear.
one of the most humbling experiences in hospital was when I went in. The nurse had said to me, this is like day 2, right? When I was back conscious, the nurse had said to me, if I want to piss or use a toilet, I have to call her.
Yeah.
Right? So you know me, I'm like the toilet was literally 10 meters away. So I'm like, there's no way I'm fucking calling the nurse to go to the toilet. So I unstrapped the thing.
Like a bad man.
Like a bad man. Bro, I walked to that toilet and pissed all over myself. And had to now call her to come and help. Like they have the electric thing.
Yeah.
Had to, the alarm thing. Had to call the alarm thing, and she came and she was like, "Nigga, I told you."
You tried.
I tried though, and then see after that now.
You
she
don't?
had I lie back and just like wash and wash. I was like, it's humbling, man.
Yeah.
Humbling, boy.
Like she washed you, eh?
Yeah,
You didn't
proper.
even have no
Calvin,
energy.
take. No, let's.
But even when I came out, I had no energy.
Yeah, that's
But that was
true.
like day 2, day 3. By day, because I remember.
Yeah, I'm a bit delayed. I just got it. Sorry, it just got delivered.
Sometimes
Sometime.
you have to nip it in the bud. Sometimes just nip it in the bud before it flies.
But you know the craziest thing about G getting admitted is how the night before he got admitted, we're texting and he's like, yeah, you know, I'm feeling a bit better. I think you'd said you're feeling a bit better the day before. Then all of a sudden he's like, yo, I'm going to hospital, and he says it in a very light way.
Okay.
Casual.
Then he's like, I'm like, all right, cool. You know those ones for like, I'm going to hospital. All right. Then he's like, yeah, I actually got admitted. I'm like, oh,
This is escalating
What do you mean?
quick.
this is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That
Time
was
to write my jokes. A joke.
no. That was. I think. And when you think about it from the podcast perspective, because if you remember, what happened was I had COVID. Then I got better.
Yep.
Then I got worse.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
We
So
went
there's
back to
one
hospital.
episode where I've come in. I remember I was sitting right somewhere
Yeah.
here.
Yes.
And you know Kelly was here as well.
Yep.
Yes.
And we were doing the pod, and then I came back in, and then I was out again for weeks. I think for me, the craziest thing in that period was, and as I look back, when I look back at the episodes that we did, was that if a scientist or an astronaut or an alien wanted to gauge how Kenyans were feeling about COVID
Yeah.
in the run up and
Post.
it was like a literal catalog, because we went from it's not going to affect us
Yeah.
to shit it's here to shit one of us is now sick. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was interesting, man.
And we're still here.
Yeah.
man.
Yo.
I want to make a transition before we make this podcast all about those memories. You guys are fans of The Breakfast Club, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught the just hilarious drama that had been going on. So let me start with a question. Say you're working, right, and you're about to take a break for whatever reason, and you have the option to pick whoever is going to fill your seat, right? Are you going to pick someone who is better than you to do the job that you do while you're away?
Yeah. I don't want no
She's
phone
thinking
calls.
about it. She's like, hell nah, nigga.
Well, if you if you pick someone better, then your job might be
Taken.
and we don't want that, right? So I'll get someone who's close enough.
Damn.
That's a great question. Like,
Like someone who's close enough but not there yet.
God
like
damn.
what about you, Fabs?
What's in the contract, man? That's there has to be some clause in the contract to say that if I'm off for 2 weeks, the person that comes there must be at X level. If they reach X level, they can't kick me out, or if they do, I get a bag of money.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm going to the contract straight.
So it's a no for you. I'll take that as a no.
It's a no.
No.
Categorically no.
But also that's rather smart, right? Because you're thinking about all of the eventualities at the beginning.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I mean contracts, yeah.
Because also what you don't want is you come back and then there's a heap load of work that someone hasn't done, or there are fires everywhere, and you're just like, okay, I'm back to firefight. You don't want that as well.
So interestingly enough, when I used to do the radio show in the early days, there was a whole different set of people who would dep when I traveled, because I used to travel a lot. So I remember when Nick and Deda used to do the show, then at some point Rachel, when Rachel would do the show, at some point Kwambox would cover the show. And it was always interesting for me when I came back to see the response of what people were saying. So I would some of them, they'd be like, hey G, welcome back, we missed you, blah, 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 was whack. And some would be like, no, but fans are fans. Fans are fans.
I know
fans
that.
don't care,
I know.
But then there would be some that come back and like, hey, you should team up with blah, 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 blah to do the show. And I'm like, well, they ain't covering again.
Standard.
They ain't covering again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even when I used to go and leave when you guys were there, and like,
What are you trying to say?
no, I used to go. and the thing about when I used to go and leave when you guys were there, it's like Calvin would assume my role, and then you guys, like, I used to think to myself, how come these guys sound so good, like
Oh, I remember you used to tell us, you guys sound so professional when I'm away.
Whatever,
I think I should be away more.
Because you always watch and listen when you're away.
Yeah.
If we're traveling, you're always like listening, and I couldn't get a word in, like.
Yeah, man.
Oh no.
Speaking about traveling, like, you've been in Kenya, like, you've literally been in Kenya through the development of Homeboys Radio, through the podcast, through everything. Because this is now your 10th
time, boy.
10th time in Kenya over the last, 17, 16 years.
Repeat offender.
10 times.
Repeat offender.
Yeah, to the point where last week, Friday, he had my car, driving around Nairobi. He has M-Pesa. He has a Kenyan line. So I said to him, bro, don't ever ask me
to pick you up,
to do anything. Like, don't say like, what are we doing? Like,
do you get a Uber at the airport?
No, I take the guys them that says you want to go.
You're Kenyan. You're even more
Yeah,
Kenyan.
for sure.
What?
At this point, we might as well give you your passport and ID.
Please, the only thing I've never taken was a border.
Okay.
I've taken a matatu before.
You taken matatu before?
Yeah, why not?
Really?
Wow.
Where?
Jeez, disgusting.
From
Wow.
somewhere Westlands.
Oh, Westlands.
Yeah.
What, the CBD?
Like, how could you?
Was it random?
It was not far journey though, but it was interesting though. It was interesting. It was packed.
Yeah.
And it was beer vibes. Because in Jamaica we don't really have a name like a matatu or whatever, but we have like the 15 seaters in Jamaica or the 35 seater coasters, and it's just riot. So I was right at home.
Really?
Who are the better drivers? Like, who are the worst drivers? Kenyan drivers or Jamaican drivers?
All right, so boy, that's a difficult one. So the Jamaican drivers are reckless. They'll kill you and like don't care.
Wow.
Say that so casually.
I'll kill you and they don't care.
The matatus, they navigate traffic with depth. You know, they're like skill,
right.
But the Jamaican guys,
Surgical.
boy, they're ruthless. They'll go up the down lane and they'll bully you out of the road. The matatus, they'll gently, they're not gentle, but they'll be assertive.
It's
on the
more
road.
gentle. Okay. It's better than the Jamaican.
It is.
Okay.
And like just before we get back there,
I don't know if you're having the same conversation with that guy, but okay, good for you.
like, what are the key changes? The key changes you've seen in Nairobi or in Kenya over the years you've been visiting?
It's just a building, man. This building, like there's so many apartments going up, you know, as well as commercial buildings. Every other corner, there's a mall or a shopping center going up. Commercial buildings. My fear is that it's just not planned. You know, so the same sewage or water pipes that feed like a community of 20 people is now servicing a community of 100 or 200. At some point in time, you're gonna have water scarcity. You have more traffic. you can have more pollution. You can have people can't walk on the road because the matatu have nowhere to drive, but on the sidewalk. So it's just crazy. So if I will give some advice to the government, I'll say, make it plan it.
Urban planning,
better planning.
Sure.
It's interesting, right? I've just remembered the first time G and I came to his residence, right? Where I think we'd come from the show. Bro, G was like, have you ever bought a plot in a far-flung area where they're telling you, there's a road that will come here one day? Bro,
that was
do you
that was a
remember?
dream he was
He was so hopeful.
What about Upper Hill?
Bro, because used to turn, was it by the church and go down and then come up geomaps
It was
and then turn
two
like
roads.
this?
Yeah. I was the
You were
biggest,
so hopeful.
I was the biggest advocate of Upper Hill, though.
Everybody knew where this guy lives in on Homeboys.
Upper Hill, yeah.
Yeah, Upper Hill. What roads?
But I used to cuss. I was mad like most of the time because the contractors would start, they'd stop. But I was new. I was new. Like,
Don't like edging. Yeah?
No, I was new. Like, end of the day, think about it. Think about it, even in terms of all of us. And that one, I chose to ignore that. I chose to ignore that, right? But if you think about it, right, even myself, I look back at how I used to fight for stuff in Kenya. Like, why is this not happening? Why is the government not doing this? I used to really
Systems,
be vocal. Why? And now I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
But did anyone fight for you?
Probably a couple fights, a couple fights here and there.
Calvin would know a bit about that.
No, I just think that like you evolve, man, and I think that like the things that were in Nairobi used to annoy me, they don't annoy me anymore.
Yeah.
You're compliant. The system always wins. It wore you down. It wore you down.
I
The
love
system
it.
was like, what roads? You'll be okay.
You'll be fine.
Yo,
man.
Here's another curveball. Is there more pressure being important at home or being important at work?
Home.
Which is more pressure? Being important at home or being important at work?
Important in what way? Like,
you're the go-to guy. Like, I'm so important at home. Decisions are ran by me. You're the finance guy. Oh,
as an only child, can we really respond to that? Because I am the most important person in that house.
that time for you might be, but now, yes, you understand your importance in the house. Let's say maybe even with the extended family, not just the immediate family unit, right?
Okay.
Even with the extended family, like Ashley is you want anything done? Ashley.
Family.
Ashley. Or work. You want anything done? Ashley. Bossy needs Ashley. HR Ashley.
That's a good
Okay.
Which is more pressure?
That's a good question.
Or home?
Okay, you guys go first. Then let me think about this.
I think that's a great question, and I think at the end of the day, it's a double-edged sword, and I'll tell you why. Being important at home at a young age has a very devastating effect on you as you get older. And I'll give you an example. It's like growing up in my household, and my household was me, my bro, my sis, and my grandma. That was my household, right? I was always the one. I was the one who was responsible. I was the go-to guy. I was the guy to get things done. So if you wanted something done at the shop, you wanted someone to go to the market, you wanted someone to go to the post office, and it came with its benefits as well.
Yeah.
Because my grandmother would toss me some more money than the other guys at times and spoil me a little bit. But as I got older, I realized that it is now something that I couldn't not do. So basically now I thrust myself into situations where I was always feeling like I was responsible for everything that happens around me. And when you have that mindset there because you're the important one, you're the cog in the wheel, it leads to resentment because you realize that you start watching all these people around you live their lives with no concern.
Yeah.
But yet you're so concerned about everything. So I feel like if it's something when you're young, it can have a detrimental effect when you're... Conversely, in my home, I want to be important. I don't necessarily have to be the most important one, but I want to feel seen. I want my opinion to count for something. Because it's really frustration, and it's frustrating in your home, in your business, when, like, I don't know if you've ever like had a conversation with like even a business partner, and you've got such a strong point of view, they're like, yeah, that's a good point. But anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to do it this way. You get me? So,
or they ask someone else for their opinion after you've given the same.
So that's my opinion.
Ash?
I kind of agree, to be honest. And I think it also, building on your point, how you're important in your house, it kind of makes you like Bob the Builder in your future life, or when you become an adult, because you're always the person who's fixing things, or you're always the person who's being given responsibilities.
Yeah.
Same at work, because at some point it becomes... It's almost like they're using you off of the sake that you are important and we need your feedback. We need you to do X, Y, Z.
You're very good at your job.
You're very good at your job. It's so, I mean, do the bare minimum, but do your job, right? So sometimes being important or too important at work can come to your detriment, but sometimes it can also be a good thing, because you're the person who guys are going to now throw back to. Like, if there's an offer, they're going to talk to you. If there's something to do that's a little extra or outside of the organization, they're going to talk to you about it. So yeah, it's double-edged sword, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's in stages. I'm the youngest of 6 children. There was a point in my life when I was at home, I was the most important. And then at some point I was invisible. So you just need to balance it. But with work, though, I think it's important to be important, but not to be the most important person. Because then, as Ashley mentioned, it's going to be to your own detriment. You're just going to get more work to do. You're going to be the point of contact for everything, except for the salary. So balance it. Be important, but not the most important person.
Yeah.
What was that transition like for you, from being the most important guy to being invisible?
It's a period of self-reflection to understand, why is no one seeing me? But I said, okay, maybe I'm only little, that's why. But then when I grew up, it just flipped, just complete 360, to the point where my older siblings are coming to me for advice. And you start feeling important because, oh yeah, so I'm visible now. So then, you look back and say, okay, maybe at that point in time I was a little shithead. But just a little bit. You grew up. So, it's for me, it's more of a balancing act.
Interesting.
Easier said than done.
Yeah.
But it's really just to try to be visible in the workplace.
Before we go to Calvin, would you say that your success in life, generally in terms of your career and stuff, right, catapulted you back into that place of being important?
Yes, because I'm a lot more visible now. When you in corporate world, when you go up the ladder, you become more visible, because then you have to go to the seminar. You have to do some speaking engagement. You have to do some writing on LinkedIn or something to that effect. So and word is spread. So then you kind of get that level of importance. But you remain grounded, and I think that's the humility of it as well. Push you forward to be an important person. So again, it boils down to be important, but not be the important person.
Wow, it's interesting. Like when you're talking about with the corporate world, right?
Yeah.
With like things like LinkedIn and all of that, right? And I remember today, as I get to my point, I saw a lady put up, and she's very good at like career and everything, right? And she was saying a lot of people who are headhunting people on LinkedIn are not there to actually look at what you've done, what position. They're looking at some of the opinion pieces that you put out. They want to see, okay, how is he? How does he communicate? How is he able to solve a problem? All of these different kind of things.
Yeah.
And I was just like, there's a bunch of people who are out there showing, I've done this, I've got this certification and all of that, right? So it's important, right? But now for me, I look at it in a very interesting perspective, right? So as I get older, my folks, my auntie, uncle, they're getting older, right? My mom is almost getting into retirement, right? And like the other day we were talking about pension and this kind of things. And I'm just like, wow, okay, that's another burden on me. So I'm important to her, but you get what I mean?
Yeah.
There's my daughter.
Yeah.
You know, she's in school doing all of these kind of things. She thinks I'm important when it comes to giving her what she needs in life and everything. Am I cool like I used to be 10 years ago? Hell no. She's just like, yeah. Like I can see how I'm not cool as much anymore. You get? I run a business. At times I'm just tired of talking to these guys. Because at times I'm like, you're important in that business because you have to make a decision. But at times you just want people to also make some decisions.
Yeah.
But they probably don't want to make a decision because they don't want the responsibility of what comes with that. You get? So, and I can't say unfortunately or fortunately, but the way my life is positioned right now, I honestly don't know how to be less important.
Right.
Some people don't have an option.
Yeah, I really don't, right?
Yeah,
like for me, I'm an only child. My mom's getting older. I'm a dad. I have two parents, right? And with that comes more responsibility. My mom's asking me, when are you getting married?
Not just your mom.
You get? Yeah. So it's, I think at the same time, and I like what all of you guys have said, but Fabian, you mentioned still being able to stay humble and grounded in all of these things, right? Because, I mean, at times, there's people who can't. There's like, let's say for instance, now, imagine if you were the firstborn and there was like a huge age difference, and I think to some point, G, you've mentioned it, and you obviously know because you were living that life. Remember when you'd fast... in your life when you're now starting to DJ, starting your radio career, and Sai is in school, and you're probably having to hook him up with this or that. Your grandma's in Jamaica and all of this. So you're very important to them and to your family and all of that. And Andy, right now, your mom, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Ashley as well, your folks. You know, like it's stages of life.
True.
It is how it is. And just Fabian, like you said, your older siblings even coming to you. I mean, it's just, and I think honestly, as life goes on, there's seasons where you're less important, there's seasons where you're, but to sum it all up, in an African, what do you call it? Context, trust me, you want to be important. Because when it comes to Christmas, if you're not important, you're the guy who's been told,
and that child, go for the tea.
Go slaughter the whatever. You get?
You go kill the goat.
Bro, like I had a situation the other day. We're having family lunch with my family on Sunday. And my auntie is moving houses, right? Yo, she was like, yo, my aunt is my aunt. She's like, hey, before you leave, could you go to my house? So her former house, because we're now at her new house. She's like, I left a TV there. You know, they've been parking it. And I want to watch TV in my room today. Could you go pick it up for me and bring it? I was like, okay, this is my auntie. Yo, my uncle stepped in. He was like, yo, listen, he can't do that. You can send someone else to go do that. I was like, thank you.
But I think even from the examples, it's clear that, and would be my opinion as well, it's more challenging to be important at home because for me, relationships, blood, you know. Unajua job, bro, you could get fired or you could leave tomorrow. Like, things could happen at work and you could easily maybe move on. They will find a replacement immediately, bro. By the time you land, there's someone already in the office who is doing the same thing that you are doing. But when it comes to, okay, this is besides the guys who are really like specialists, like this guy in this camp, there's nobody else who does what this guy does, which is a different conversation to be had. And I wish maybe if there's anyone who can share maybe that side of things, I'd love to hear that. But besides those cases, for the rest of us, man, it's nice being important at work, but there's so many ways that can play out to your advantage, even more than to your disadvantage, because you know your worth, you understand exactly what you contribute to this company. You could easily defect or be poached by someone else, or start your own private practice. Why do I need to make these guys this money if I'm doing everything? I'm the one-stop shop.
that work context is very interesting. I think the most important is definitely family and life, right?
Yeah.
Because when you think about like how businesses operate, right? You could be an owner of a business and actually get bought out, right?
Yeah.
If you probably say, hey, your company goes public and you think you're important as a CEO and the shareholders say, hey, you're not running shit the way we want. You're out.
Yeah.
Or you bring in someone into the fold, like say an investor, and you think, oh, I'm the founder. Bruh, it's like, you guys know about Tesla, right?
Yeah.
You know, Elon Musk is not a founder of Tesla.
Right.
He actually took out and got out the guys. Same story for Apple. Remember with, what was his name? The late.
Nick and Jobs and those guys.
Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Remember when he was kicked out?
At some point, yeah.
Yeah, and he was so vengeful. He's like, I'll come back. And, you know, when you watch the movies and you read the books and all of that, I think work is, this thing goes on. Like, you just said it. Today you're in, tomorrow you could be out.
Very transient.
Literally.
But at home, everybody can tell things are different through different stages of life.
100%.
So I think that's why it carries and bears more weight. Not to downplay the importance at work, but I feel like the weight is more when it comes to family and all that. But they can let us know in the comment section.
Yeah.
Like, let's not speak for them.
Who's your favorite family member?
Damn.
How do you even ask that question?
Can't.
Bro? You can't answer
No,
that.
Calvin, I love the chaos. Yes. Don't let them back down. Matter of fact, lead by example. Like, tell us your favorite in the family.
Oh, man, come on, man.
Mamzi.
Mom over daughter?
Both of them are listening.
Yeah. I think my mom.
Over Jojo.
I think my daughter's a bit spoiled now. We're like,
Thanks to
You're rubbing
but I
shoulders.
love her. I love her.
But you choose your mom.
I think, you know, here's the thing.
Jojo at the back saying,
No. Let me put it like this. So, you know, I co-parent, right? And I don't spend majority time with my daughter. She's got an amazing mom. My daughter's amazing. But in the thick of things, like, would she choose me or the mom?
The mom, huh?
She's choosing the mom.
Yeah, so who am I going to choose? I know my
Your
mom's
mom.
not right with me. So I'm going to choose my
Even your
mom.
dog wouldn't choose you, bro.
Oh, true, right?
Yeah.
My dog couldn't choose me.
Didn't choose, yeah. So, trucks.
That's a very I
Bold of you to answer that
You know
question. I love it.
why I'm saying that, right?
Tell us.
I had a very interesting and I can share a bit of it, right? I found a video on TikTok that really caught my attention. It said 6 things to ask your mom before they pass on. And I sent it to her. She was like, sure, I will answer all of these questions. So on Sunday, we're done with family lunch and she's like, cool, I'll stay at your house. Bro, so we get home, I'm ready to watch a movie I was watching. She's like, hey. We need to answer this question.
Man.
Like, bro, I didn't have the emotional bandwidth at that point. I was being avoidant. I'm like,
Not now.
like, you might make me cry. Not now on
Did
a
you
Sunday.
shed a tear?
Bro, she said some things to me. I'll share that thing.
Yeah, because I wanted
questions.
to ask you to share some of the questions, like even with the
Yeah,
audience.
okay, let me
like
play
right
it for you
now.
guys, right? Let me play the clip for you guys to
It's
hear.
a video clip, yeah?
Yeah, it's a video clip.
Okay.
So, like, she said some things to me, and I think, honestly, I'll never look at her the same.
One day you will bury your mother. That day you will realize you lost the only woman who loved you unconditionally. Here are 6 questions to ask your mother before she dies. 1. What's the story of how you chose my name? 2. What's your happiest memory of raising me? 3. What's something you've never told me but always wanted to say? 4. What's the hardest lesson life ever taught you? 5. What's one piece of advice you wish you had taken when you were younger? 6. What's one thing you hope I never forget about you? Mothers are the heart of the family, nurturing us with love, strength, and sacrifices we often take for granted. They are our greatest supporters, quietly shaping our lives in ways we may never fully understand. As life goes on, we forget to ask the questions that truly matter. So take time to speak with them now.
Okay.
God damn.
I could see why you would have the emotional capacity.
First question, you're out.
I would
And
think
you know,
it's six parts. Part
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Hell, bro.
Your mom's a lecturer,
that's
bro.
longest-
How many did she answer?
All of them.
No
Ooh,
shit.
of course.
And she had them written down.
Indeed,
She-
of course.
Wow.
She prepared. She's
Yeah.
a scholar, of course. A whole
Fucking
lecturer.
hell.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like,
Bro, I'm interested. Like, what's the one thing that mistakes you hope that you don't repeat, or the last one? I'm invested now. Sorry.
No.
Same.
she told me some shit. I don't think I could. Like, if I said,
Yeah,
I understand.
I get
That's
it.
a
I get it.
personal-
My question
Yeah.
is,
It's
are you looking
very-
at Jojo through the same lens?
yeah, but it's really changed my perception of a lot of things, right? And how I look at her, and moments where I've judged her.
Okay.
You get what I mean?
Mama
Yeah.
Jojo.
Mom,
Okay,
right?
okay.
So like right now, like I'm way like 100%. I've always loved her, but I feel like that grew even more. Like the things she told me.
What's the story of your name, though?
Calvin John. So you guys have heard about Calvinism.
The
Christian.
religious
Oh,
bit,
yes.
right?
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So Calvin
Yes.
John.
Yes.
But when I was growing up, she used to make fun and say I was wearing a Calvin Klein t-shirt.
Wow.
Yeah, man. You get what I mean? So it was always light. So when she said that to me, I was like, okay, I knew about that, right? But when she was giving me she was giving me stories, I can mention the part about has it been fun being my mom and us growing all together.
Yeah.
And she was giving me stories I've even forgotten. Would you believe I escaped kindergarten?
Yes.
Yeah,
we believe,
pretty
I can
much.
believe that. Yeah. We could believe that.
Yeah, like yo, I was dropped to school. I was dropped to
Say,
school
fuck this.
at the age of like 5 or 4 or some shit. And
You dipped.
I dipped
I can see
and
that.
walked
I can
back
see that.
home.
Say,
I can see that.
see you later.
Like she asked me, and this is my mom asking me, she's like, hey, so how, like, it's one of the questions I've always wanted to answer. How did you come back home? And that really got me thinking,
You
bro,
followed the
like kids and how God protects kids. Bro,
Kids
how
and
the
drunkards.
fuck? Like,
And
if I had to
drunkards,
talk to
yeah.
my younger self, you're mad. How did you even cross the road and shit?
What was the distance? Like, how long was...
Maybe about 4 kms or something.
God damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
God damn.
But yeah, so here's the thing. I'll put the clip out there.
For tough.
I think it's a question that guys should ask their moms,
Oh,
and
yeah.
their dads,
Oh, yeah.
for sure. I think it really those are some really meaningful conversations to have with your parents.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do I bail them out with another question? Now everybody has to like say their favorite member of the family.
I think
I plead the fifth.
that, I mean, for me, I think my favorite member of my
Say
family
yes, nigga.
is my brother.
Yeah, I can see
I
that.
think like nobody could actually not know that. Like that's obvious.
Yeah.
You?
Don't be a bitch, actually. Just say.
Wow. Okay, first we were only 3, and then my dad. Let me not say that out loud.
You
My
said that.
mom's like my dad's side doesn't really count, but my mom's side does. I can't pick, to be fair.
Which
Like,
is a good place to be.
yeah, I can't pick. They're all bloody amazing. They all love me.
Your parents
Yeah,
are vibes
yeah.
though.
They are heavy
parents are actually
vibes.
vibes.
Yeah. Oh, I have such a sad story to tell you guys after this. Anyway, it's about the pets.
Wow.
Relax.
Did the cat die?
Oh, let me just tell you guys.
Wow.
It was an accident. My mom ran over one of the dogs by mistake.
God damn.
It was bad. She called me hysterically crying. And so I texted my dad, and my dad was just like, you need to come to the house, like, right now. So my mom, it was
I
me and my
felt
mom, my dad, and my auntie and my uncle came through as well. Found them drinking the fuck up. I was like, you're very allowed to do that. So yeah, she was so traumatized.
Damn. If
Because
mom
it's
was
her
at the top of
baby.
my list, she's coming down just because of that puppy, bro. I'm
It
sorry.
was a mistake, like
Nah.
genuine mistake.
We're not having it, mom.
It was
sorry.
like she was destroyed. Apparently, she held the dog there until like
Oh man, that's sad.
it stopped breathing. So yeah, she's a little traumatized right now. So I would say she's my favorite right now.
I hope she's okay.
Wow.
Yeah,
She's okay.
yeah.
I hope
Anyway.
that she's okay.
Well, we all do.
Fabian?
Fabian?
I don't know. It's between my mom and my maternal grandmother, and it's really the conversations we had when I was growing up. As I mentioned earlier, I'm the last of 6. I was severely bullied, as they do.
Severely.
Yeah.
And I can just remember my grandma always saying, "Don't cry. They're gonna get old one day. And when I get old, just beat them. And we sat, because in the front of the yard, we had a veranda and we had this massive almond tree. And we sat here and we just laughed. I was crying because they bullied me over a piece of chicken. And the story about the chicken is that in Jamaica on Sundays, you have rice and peas and chicken and coleslaw and that. The prize piece of the meat is the leg. I couldn't get the leg because all the other greedy ones took it. So I wanted a chicken leg, and I thought, no, nail and two, but didn't get it. But anyway, she's like, don't cry, because they're going to get old one day, and when they get old, just beat them. And I just remember her telling me that, and we just laughed. So we had a lot of conversations, and the same thing with my mom as well. It was a lot of conversations growing up. A lot of them I still remember, still stuck to me. But I love everyone. But I think if I can go into a vault and pick out like good and better and best memories, it will be of those two ladies.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh wow.
Okay.
Andy?
Easy pick. I'd pick my mom.
Yeah.
Her softness and wisdom.
Oh, your mom's hella soft.
Yeah, so sweet.
Gets me every time, man.
Pause.
No, like this was the one time.
You literally Una reverse what he does.
Good catch though. Good catch.
Yeah.
I think that was intentional.
It's giving what Andy will do.
I know.
Apo lazima tread carefully, man. But here's a final one before we. No gender.
Hold up. Funny enough.
It's okay.
Funny enough. Right? Like I've just remembered. I've actually never said this, but let me put it out there in the universe.
Okay.
I think one of my lowest moments, a moment that I really regret when it comes to family, is when my grandfather was in hospital. So I used to spend a lot of time with my grandpa as he got older, because my grandma died. So whenever I had time, like I'd just be like uni days. I'd just be like, all right, cool. The guy would call me and be like, hey, hello, what are you doing? Like he just needed to vibe, right?
Yeah.
So as he got older, his wife has died and all of that. So we were very good friends. I'd cook for him and all of that. Like I remember when he was in hospital and guys are coming to see him and everything. And these are like maybe the last 3 days or something. And he's just been admitted. I remember the guy telling me, yo, because he had like kidney failure. And the guy was like, could you, after everybody's gone, could you wash my boxes for me? And I remember at that point I was like, bro, that's not cool.
I see the frame of mind during that stage. Yeah,
yeah. And I never did. You know what I mean? And he died like 2-3 days later.
Without
Like
clean boxes. Sorry.
This is so morbid.
It's so sensitive.
That was his most probably vulnerable moment.
Yeah.
That's a moment of silence, G.
Sorry. It was right there, man. It's the mic open, man.
God damn. Yeah.
No,
So like when I think about it, I'm always like, yo, bruh. Like, did he have a different picture of me when, as you know, he stepped out? Yeah.
I hope you healed from that though.
I don't. He's talking about it. No.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the healing right now.
Yeah.
I'm for it. I'm for
Somebody
it.
talking. I'm a
Yeah.
like somebody talking, say it and
Actually,
let it come
we
out.
got it though.
How many hours have we been recording?
Last one and then we vamoose. No, kwanza someone said we should do like a 3-hour episode for
What the hell?
episode 300.
Joe
Yeah.
Biden's been sued by his neighbors.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently there's a time he got into his studio naked or something.
No, that's a story from Dambo.
Yeah.
Sleepwalking, but that was just it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Guys.
And they have cameras and everything, so showing up naked in the middle of the night in front of your
Hold
neighbor's
up,
door.
Joe Biden
might be-
sleepwalks.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's great for podcasting, though. Like, I'd say the same thing.
That's the period. That's the period. Remember when I was telling you, Kina Joe Biden went to the old studio and we were remembering the vibes that
Of the
this
old
is when we were
studio.
discussing maybe how we can switch up the set during that time. Yeah.
But you know,
That's when that
talking
happened.
about sleepwalking the other day, I had a very interesting experience. So, boom, I'm asleep, right? I woke up, I'm pressed, right? I don't know why I took a lick and took out my pajama pants, threw them, and I opened the closet, wore the pajama pants, and I got into bed.
Is there something you want to tell us, Calvin?
So like in the middle of like, 7 o'clock, I'm tossing, nowadays I wake up at 7. So I'm turning over there and I'm just like, pull something and here's a pair of pants. Like,
You pissed in the closet.
That's what I'm thinking, bro.
Yeah, that's something you need to
You
tell
thought
us.
the closet was the
no,
washroom.
you know if there's one thing.
Wait. Were you sober?
Very.
Okay.
So you pissed in the closet.
I didn't. I took a lick and then I went into
And
the
got
closet
new PJs.
and got new PJs.
So
But
did
I
you
took
pee
out
on your
the-
I
last
think my
PJs?
version is better.
Yeah, me too. All right, I'm sure then we go, Ama.
Yeah, quite bizarre. I was waiting for,
The payoff.
Yeah.
Story.
He pissed in the
It's
closet.
Calvin, bro. It's Calvin. There might not be any payoff. Now, is it a green flag, a red flag, or a beige flag if your brand new partner has a drawer full of mementos or keepsakes from past relationships?
Whoa.
killer vibes.
Serial
It's giving
killer.
Ted Bundy.
100%.
It's giving Jeffrey Dahmer. Like,
They drink black coffee as well.
Do?
They drink black coffee as well.
No,
No,
Or the
the
person? Do you want them to be drinking black
Yes.
coffee?
I hope not.
psychopaths.
But you know,
They
here's-
listen to black coffee. I don't know about drinks.
Wow.
Hey, here's the thing. First and foremost,
Psychopaths.
I think it's hella awkward, or rather hella crazy, for you to use the term brand new, and still have old toys. And artifacts.
Okay, maybe you tried
You get what I mean? Like,
No.
how
No,
is
no,
it brand
landing?
new? You can't say they're brand new.
shaky.
I think that of all of the dilemmas you've posted in the history of this podcast, that's the easiest one to say. Serial
killer.
Shit.
Damn, I was thinking something different, man.
What were you
Some shit-
thinking?
like some shit she was getting choked with.
What?
Well,
COVID.
if that's what you want to
No,
go,
like
then
what
okay.
else could she have? Mementos, right? Like maybe
Letters, maybe clothes, maybe
letters.
Yes.
Letters is fun. Letters is
Yes.
fun. That would be a good joke to piss her off. Like read her notes that Calvin sent her. My love,
You're already
You're
giving
different,
red
different.
flags.
this is a no. I'd be making fun of her.
So this
Like,
is a red
like
flag.
no. Honestly, like
Why are you making fun of it? Because she has all
Mementos,
letters.
like maybe jewelry.
You said mementos. I'm thinking like fingers.
Why?
Okay, I was
First of
thinking
all, now,
earrings,
this couch needs
rings.
prayers. This you niggas need therapy. First of all,
Yeah, I'm
Let's
thinking
start
about
there.
men.
A piece of luck.
You know, like this guy. What's his name?
Now you too, bro.
You.
Ted Bundy.
You.
No, you.
Oh, you, yeah, the series.
that guy.
Yeah.
With Joe.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
let's,
giving Joe.
you know, let's actually
You want
make
to
this-
dissect
let's
this?
make this question a bit deeper, right?
Okay.
If we start dating, and for the lack of a better word, you've just used the word brand new, right? So you're
Right.
my brand new girlfriend, right?
Fresh from the box,
fresh,
bro.
fresh.
Fresh
You
off
know,
the box, man.
you know,
Yeah.
you might not be fresh, right? You could be second.
But the box is fresh.
You get what I
Hey.
mean, right? But is it right for us guys to use the same sex toys you used to use with your
Nope.
previous partner?
My God, listen.
Nope.
It depends. It depends. Because, bro, no. Let's be honest. Ashley, I'm glad you're here. We can have this conversation.
Yeah.
How would you feel if I'm the new guy and I feel a type of way because the sex toys you have right now have been used by other niggas?
I wouldn't do that to you.
But those are your sex toys.
They are
bro.
my sex toys. That's for my personal use. Usually, anyway.
Now we're getting somewhere. Yeah.
Usually the ideal situation would be when we start seeing each other and we see each other like that, and you want to explore with me, then we actually select the sex toys ourselves. Like it's very niche to our relationship. It's
Like
not
from
niche
your
to
inventory, or are we buying new
we
ones?
buy new ones.
Okay.
Yeah,
But-
you can even take them with you if you want
I mean-
to. Maybe reminisce if you need
I
to.
mean, like-
but those are mine.
I think, you know, just because, you know, we've been talking about the SDGs and, you know, climate change is one of the SDGs. I think, honestly, it would be very harmful to the environment if you guys would say, hey, let's throw away those cuffs and get some new cuffs. Like,
I mean, cuffs are different.
cuffs are cuffs. You get what I mean? We can't pollute.
So cuffs, blindfolds.
Yeah, those
That's a
kind of
difference.
things.
Those could
But also, like, since we're talking about climate change and sex toys, right? Why would we want to throw away some plastic, like a dildo that's made of rubber plastic, into the environment? Why don't we just recycle it and just dip it in Dettol?
So you want to
and-
repurpose somebody else's dildo?
Yo, this has been the Mics Are Open, episode 300. My name's G-Buddy.
Andy Young.
Ashley,
Big C.
Fabs.
Adios, man.
300, baby. Let's go.